Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's your host LupusX today, bringing you guys some more battles on the NA server. Before we get started, guys, I'd like to thank you guys for also continuing to subscribe and watch the videos on the channel. You guys have no idea how much that means, that the quality content we put on here is something you guys all like and continue to share with your friends and people that play the game as well. They're trying to get accustomed to the game. That is the whole purpose of this channel, is to try to get people up to speed so both veteran and beginner players alike can learn something new or keep their skills sharp, or whatever the case may be. Whatever reason you may be here, whether it's chip reviews or anything like that, I'm glad you guys are still continuing to find great quality into the content that we produce. So thank you guys for that, and continue to do that and continue to support the channel, and I'll continue to keep on giving you great content so you guys can continue learning the game, and we'll all continue having fun with the game. Now, while I don't think I've ever exactly done this before, this is exactly the reason why I want to go ahead and do this video on a whole different subject, which is not basically tutorial for once. It's basically a little bit about myself in a sense. So I'm going to kind of give myself a little bit of a leeway background here. Describing basically who I am and the reason why I do the channel, the reason of my play style and everything else, just to kind of give you guys just a little bit of a background, so that way when we see each other on the battlefield, it'll be a quick salute, a little 07, and then we'll go about our business in a little friendly competition as we battle on the battlefield. But for those of you guys who do know me or don't know me, my name is LupusX. You guys can find me on Discord and or Facebook as Prince Lupin, if those of you guys are on Facebook, or if you guys have Discord, I recommend you guys getting that as well. I do a lot of my basically business on Discord in a sense. I try to make it sound a lot more professional than what it is, but I do a lot of my business, so to speak, on Discord. My name basically comes from World of Tanks Blitz. I was basically a 3-year veteran of playing that game. I started actually on Valentine's Day 4 years ago, back in 2015. I was looking for a game. There was a snowstorm that year. I was looking for a game to kind of just do something different. And I just so happened to stumble upon World of Tanks Blitz, and so I got hooked on it like most people did. And of course, I got the premium tanks, and I got into competitive over there. And that competitive mindset from World of Tanks Blitz shaped a lot of my playstyle that is in World of Warships Blitz, as well as the playstyle that you guys will come and see in the next coming videos, as I'll show you guys a couple videos from tanks in a bit. Speaking of tanks, a lot of people in the Primo fleet right now, I have known them for a while because either I fought them in tanks or we were on the same team in tanks. So I want to make that differentiation because a lot of people get that confused. Yes, we do carry over the Primo name. For those of you guys that are familiar with tanks, we do carry over the Primo name from World of Tanks Blitz, but there's only maybe 1 to 2% of the population that is actually from Tanks Blitz Primo clan. The rest of our guys, which is about a good 40 to 50%, or the rest of our guys did play tanks, but they weren't part of the Tanks clan. So like I said, most of these guys I fought with, or basically maybe fought against in some type of competitive event sometime in tanks. So we all have kind of history together. It's basically working along with your coworkers if you've been around for like 10, 20 years, or you've been with the same company. It's basically almost the same way. Like we basically just rebranded ourselves to the fleet, and so we have a different mindset and perspective of seeing the game, especially compared to somebody who, say, World of Warships Blitz is your first introduction to wargaming. So the way we interact with wargaming and the way that we also think about competitive events that happen, such as the way that someone who maybe just came into World of Warships Blitz never understanding wargaming, we view leagues and we view ranked in a whole different matter compared to somebody else. Now, that's not downing those materials. That's not downing that. We're not saying that those things don't matter. We're just saying there's a whole different mindset and a whole different way of thinking and perspective that goes into how we see competitive here as comparison to somebody who may be new, or this may be your first rodeo. By all means, do what you have to do. Do what you feel makes you happy and makes you get competitive in the game. Do that, but we just see things differently. So I just have to let that be known. Also in tanks as well, I want to kind of explain a little bit of the background of my name as well. My name, LupusX, basically comes from a clan I used to be in called WolfX. Basically, that's the direct translation of my name, which is WolfX. LupusX is WolfX. This was a clan that in Clan Wars 2, we basically competed with Primo and a few other clans in Clan Wars 2, which was a wargaming sponsored but community-led event like we're trying to do in World of Warships Blitz right now, where we could win an IS-6 Fearless, which was basically an IS-6 with a recamo bear on there that was like really super rare. Only people in the Russian server had it. So it pays homage to that clan that basically we beat Primo by points. We didn't necessarily beat them in skill, but we beat them by points. And so we got this wonderful tank The story behind that goes on a little further, but you know, basically for that matter, a lot of things and pays homage to my tanks playstyle and everything else. And you guys looking at these videos, you guys can kind of see a little bit of reminiscent of my warships playstyle. If you played against me on the battlefield or played with me, you guys are probably noticing a lot of different things that I do that is similar to the way I did things in tanks. So you're not seeing me overexposed and all this other crazy stuff that you may be seeing, because yes, Primo, we do tend to sit back a lot because a lot of us are from tanks. In tanks, you don't have repair kits. You don't get 15 to 16% of your health back in tanks. If you lose your health because you go out too early or you go in a flank that's unspotted and you get nuked, you get nuked. There is no coming back from that. There is no, okay, I can go to second line, pop a few repair kits, then come back to the front line. No, once you get knocked down to 200 health, there's no getting that back. So a lot of that stuff comes into our play style and our mindset and how we think and feel about the game. Now, in terms of the YouTube channel, the reason for the YouTube channel was to spread some of that information. A lot of the inspiration for the YouTube channel came from Bushko on Blitz. I used to watch him a lot when I was in my stuck field. So the competitive aspect for me in the game, when it came from Clan Wars and Blitz and everything else, was a big reminder of the reasons why I wanted to make this game more fun for those around me. So because I'm very competitive in nature and I love competitive events, I love pushing people to their limits, and I love people pushing me to my limits. It wasn't until Clan Wars 1 where I got my butt kicked by the best fleets in existence that I actually became 10 times the better player. In fact, when I left Clan Wars 1, even though we didn't really do well in terms of, you know, performance as Pramo, Grim, SRT, and the other top clans at that time of 2015, 2016, I still came in. I noticed I was playing at a whole different level. That never played before. I was hyper active. I would see things I normally wasn't seeing because of just that competitive aspect. So for me, the pure skill competitive aspect drives me a lot further than leagues or ranked does in game compared to World Warships Blitz. And that's a big reasoning why some of the things I do the way I do and where I am in Pramo right now is because a lot of us see the same thing because a lot of us came from that same sort of background. So that's the reason why I created the YouTube channel, is just so I can get a lot more folks on that scale of level. Not everybody has to be competitive because I cannot always translate my skill level to everybody that wants to translate that skill level. So that's pretty hard to do. But I can translate some general things in a different perspective of how to look at the game. So therefore you can build your gameplay and build it to a confident level where you feel confident in your gameplay and you can still have fun with the game. The key is you still have fun. And so that is where I'm trying to get people are. So that way, if you have complaints about, I never see those torpedoes coming, or what's some ways I can stay alive, I want to do better in the game, this is how I make the game more fun for you guys. So it's all about basic community service for me, and by building the player base up, do we also build the top players up as well, because we have a lot more top fleet players that may come around, and we have a lot more competition. And I love competition. I love friendly competition. I love competition in itself. And so that drives and is the main driving force behind this YouTube channel. So hopefully you guys learned something great about and new about me today. I didn't want to dive too much into my personality and everything else. I don't want to give you every single fact there is about me because I know you don't want to hear all that. But I kind of want to just lay out the framework for why and where I am and why I do what I do. So hopefully, guys, I'm going to see you guys out in the battlefield. I'm going to salute to all you guys out there who've been listening to the channel. Thank you guys once again for following me into the new year, and continue to subscribe to the channel. I'll continue, guys, bringing some more updates on skirmishes and as well as some more tutorials for 2019. Until next time, guys, I'm your host, Lupus X, and I'll be seeing you on the battlefield next time.